Microsoft, OpenAI, GitHub, ChatGPT. There is a lawsuit going on because of copyright infringements, and the crypto space is going crazy again. So a lot of things are on the plate. Let's use the time effectively. And here is Katching Secrets with the weekly Catching Up. Catching! This is Bernie with the weekly Catching Up here on Katching Secrets on our YouTube channel. So let's dive in. What's going on in the world? What's going on in the financial world, in the economy, in the crypto space? I give you a short update, then we will do another pie investing. We will add an instrument today in our pie. Let's dive in. What's going on? First of all, Citigroup, Microsoft, there's a lawsuit because it's not just Microsoft. Microsoft is invested in, or they have invested in OpenAI and their artificial intelligence platform, ChatGPT. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone is using it. Is trying to get the marketing done by it, to get video scripts out of it. And I personally have tried it myself. It's an amazing tool, but there is a problem because ChatGPT was searching, or OpenAI, to train their algorithm, to train their bot. They were sending their ChatGPT bot and their OpenAI bots. They were sending them to GitHub. GitHub is a space where open source projects are hosted. Open source means someone is creating an app, is creating a program, and he or she is publishing it to the world. But they're using an open source license, and within this open source license, it's regulated how people who are using this program or this app, how they have to act with that program. So, for example, they say the programmer developer says, if you use my program, if you use my app, then please mention my name on your website. So now what OpenAI did, they were training their algorithm using GitHub repositories, but they violated the licenses there. And now we have a group of people, and they are finding together themselves. Let's here it is. So here we go. And he filed a lawsuit for GitHub and their AI product, and additionally OpenAI, and so in extended version, also Microsoft is affected. So we will see, in my opinion, we will see those kind of lawsuits more often right now because OpenAI, all the bots, they are violating on their digging around through the internet. They will violate certain rules. On the other hand, I asked the ChatGPT bot, can I use the text, can I use the scripts that you give me, the output that you provide to me, can I use that commercially? And it said to me, personally, I don't have anything against that, so the bot has nothing against it. But OpenAI has the copyrights on the creations that I'm doing. So that means if you take a text, for example, a copy of ChatGPT that was written by it, and you're using it for your marketing, and they are recognizing it at a certain point, they could file a lawsuit against you. So we have to be careful. This is a recommendation from myself. I am doing recommendations very seldomly, but this is one. If you are using ChatGPT or any other artificial intelligence to create something that you want to publish, then paraphrase it. So find your own words and rephrase the whole text, change it, or dive into the license agreements that they give you. Because at a certain point, they may say, okay, now we're searching the internet, and then we're trying to get money from all the people who used our services, because currently it's for free. And as you know, as a viewer of our channels, nothing in life is for free. There is always something that you have to provide in exchange for your data, or for it is your data, for whatever. Whenever you get something for free, it's never free. Good. Let's move on to the next topic. Watermarking. That's one thing that I wanted to mention as well. ChatGPT is also developing a watermark function. That means if you're creating a text over ChatGPT, they will have certain words included into the text, and because of those words, they will recognize their texts in the world, on the internet, in the newspaper, wherever you will publish it. So that's the final words to ChatGPT. Now let's move on to the interest rates. The Citigroup CEO says the Fed could slow down the interest rate hikes. Currently, we're at 4.5% in the US. We are at 2.5% in the European zone. And I think it's around, what was it? I don't know the exact number. We're coming later to that in the UK. But it's similar. It's, I think, similar to US. So they could slow down the interest rate. Everyone expecting a slow or a very mild recession throughout the second half of 2023. So if this is happening, if the recession is becoming mild, then they will raise the interest rates higher. And this is also what Jamie Dimon says, or Jamie Dimon. He says the rates will rise above 5% because there is still a lot of inflation going on, even though the energy prices went down or are going down again. And so he says 5% is also my opinion, because if we're seeing a mild recession, that means the economy can take another raise of the interest rate. And that means that we need, or the US and the European zone, everyone needs to get the interest rate at the same level at the inflation rate. Because if the inflation is higher than the interest rate, that would cause the inflation going even higher. And at a certain point, you cannot catch inflation anymore. And that would be the biggest problem for everyone if the inflation starts just jumping higher and higher and higher. So everyone is trying now to raise the interest rate up to a level where they are catching inflation rate, so where they are getting it equally. Why don't they raise it that fast? Because if they're just raising it now to 10%, for example, then everyone who is in debt, so who has debt, who has a loan, is in real troubles, because then they would have to pay a lot of interest back to the banks. They cannot afford it. They have to file bankruptcy, and this is a vicious circle going on. So that's why this is a very fine line that everyone is walking on, especially in the Eurozone. Talking about the Eurozone, the finance minister in Germany says also they are expecting a very mild recession. The DAX, the German index, is doing pretty well. So today it was going down because of the yesterday the Nasdaq and the US stock market was going down slightly because of the Fed. The European Central Bank, they also say that they have a few more rate hikes, although they cannot really go that far, because if they are doing that, many companies in the European Union, especially in Germany, will blow up, because they are zombified companies. They are built on thin air. And yeah, talking about inflation, what's going on in the job market, in the US job market, the weekly jobless claims are falling unexpectedly. So everyone is getting rid of employees. I have here an interesting on Twitter. I found an interesting graphics. I showed it to you. So here you see who is firing people. We have 25% on Twitter. We have 10,000 Microsoft, 18,000 Amazon, and so on and so on. So many companies, they are just getting rid of employees. They are laying off employees, and this is surprisingly the employment rate or the jobless claims were going down. For inflation, if the jobless claims are going up, that means more and more people are losing their jobs. That means more and more people are spending less for in the economy. That means the economy suffers. That means the companies are making less profits. That means they have to get rid of even more employees and so on. This is also a spiral going down. So we don't want the spiral. So let's expect the best but calculate with the worst. So this is one of my main claims, one of my main quotes that I'm using in my life. It is always expect the best, but always calculate with the worst as well, because then you are prepared. Goldman Sachs, they released their earnings, and it was the worst earning miss in a decade. Revenue was going down, the expenses were going up, and this was, the stock market was just, it was down 7%. The earnings were 3.30 per share versus 5.48, which was estimated. So this is Goldman Sachs. I was looking at Goldman Sachs. Is Goldman Sachs now a good investment? I was looking at it on Guru Focus, and as you can see, I wouldn't say Goldman Sachs is an investment that I have to do. I mean, you can. They have a pretty high debt to equity ratio. That means for every dollar in equity, they have $2.59 in debt. That is pretty much, although it is an investment bank. So a bank is in debt, and every bank is in debt. Nevertheless, this is pretty high. The PEG ratio here is 1.43, which is also pretty high. So currently, I wouldn't say that Goldman Sachs is an investment that I would take. You can. I mean, I'm also looking on the DCF valuation. This is a certain valuation model that based on the free cash flow or on the cash flow, and this says it's undervalued. So it's a little bit a fine line. If you wanna, I mean, Goldman Sachs is one of the biggest investment banks in the world. But that doesn't mean anything, because the Lehman Brothers was the same in 2008, and they blew up because of their derivatives and their businesses. At the same time, we have Morgan Stanley, and they reported a smaller than expected decline in their profits, and this was firing up on their stock yesterday. Today they were down roughly 3%. Same goes for Morgan Stanley. Still not a good investment. And as I was digging through all the investment banks, I came across Charles Schwab Corporation, this one. And I would say that if I would like to invest in an investment bank, I would choose this one. They have a debt to equity ratio of 0.58, still pretty high for us. But that means for every dollar in equity, they have 0.58, so 58 cents in debt. That's pretty okay. The PEG ratio is close to 1. That means the price to earnings growth ratio. So when the relation between the price of the stock and the earnings and both of their growth, how are they related? If this is below 1, that means the earnings are growing faster than the stock price. And that means on the long run that the company is cheap, because on the long run the profits are getting more and more and more, but the stock price is staying the same, for example. Here we have it's closely to 1, equally to 1. That means the stock price and the earnings are on par. They are going hand in hand. So this is Morgan Stanley. This is Charles Schwab Group. It's a pretty interesting investment opportunity if you want to invest in an investment bank. And if you want to take another one, take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. We also have that in our list, in our gold menu. Our gold menu is a list that we are issuing to our members. It's weekly updated, or it's permanently updated, but on a weekly basis we are investigating it and taking in or out some stocks. We have that in a gold menu in the stocks and in the crypto space. If you're interested, drop us a comment below, and we will let you know. Next thing is Silvergate. They were also involved in the FTX scandal. They report a net loss of $1 billion for the fourth quarter. That's pretty, I would say that's pretty less than expected, because FTX was withdrawing, I think it was $6 billion from them, and therefore it's in the last quarter of 2022. So that's why it is surprising me that it's just $1 billion, but nevertheless this is significant. And what's going on in Davos? Davos is where the elite is meeting. The World Economic Forum is meeting there currently. So the elite is there, and they are discussing what's going on in the world. How can we trade the world? How can we handle the world? And there are pretty interesting interviews. You can find them on TikTok. By the way, we are also on TikTok. So if you are on TikTok, then search for Katching Secrets 1. This is our handle on TikTok, Katching Secrets 1, and then you will find us there. What else do we have? Silvergate, Davos. Then we have the Unilever CEO says that the prices have not peaked yet. Surprise. So inflation is still going higher. We will see higher prices, and expect this year to the prices to go even higher and higher and higher. Whereas the salary will stay the same. So salary will remain the same. I heard now from a friend of mine, the company of him, they told him, the economy is going so bad, we have to reduce your salary. We don't raise your salary, so the inflation is going up, prices are going up, salaries tend to go down because the companies, they cannot afford paying that much to their employees. That's why all the companies are getting rid, or one of the reasons why all of the companies are getting rid of their employees. So that's what we're facing currently. What else do we have? We have, UK house prices. House prices in the UK are falling up to 10%. 10%. So same thing here. Houses are, or real estate, you say they are on par with inflation long term. Now it is like this. We have 10% inflation, but the house prices are going down by 10%. So here is a gap that's becoming bigger and bigger, and this is due to the financial politics of England. We're seeing mortgages, we're seeing the interest rates, they're going higher with the inflation rate, and as the mortgage rate is going higher, that means it is more expensive to finance a house, and therefore the prices, the demand is going down. And every time when we have a supply demand is going down, supply is going higher, the prices are falling, and vice versa. If the supply is going down and demand is going higher, then the prices are going higher as well. A very basic principle that you can apply to nearly any market. Let's move to the crypto space. I told you today we have a whole bunch of news. Now we are in the crypto space. Polygon is doing or has done a hard fork on 2 days ago on the 17th, and that should boost the network performance and the Matic price. So have a closer look on Matic. It seems that a hard fork means that they are taking the Polygon project. Polygon is a crypto chain, crypto blockchain, and they took that blockchain and hard forked it. So they took it basically and reissued it, and then and they improved certain things. They restarted it basically, and that should improve the network performance significantly throughout the next days and weeks, and this should drive the price higher. Then we have Decentraland. So Metaverse is a very huge topic. Metaverse, Decentraland. Mana is the coin, is the utility coin of Decentraland, and there are a lot of projects that this is getting traction. So we had last week, the McKinsey was saying 2030 there will be a $5 trillion business in the metaverse, and we are seeing companies like Adidas, Nike, all the big brands. They are entering the metaverse. They are selling NFTs and all that kind of stuff. So this is becoming big, and I have 2 tips for you of projects that I came across. The first one is the Meta Masters Guild. This is a play-to-earn community that will be launched very soon, and you can be part of the pre-purchase. Now, the risk here is that you are losing money because the project isn't doing well, or the project is blowing up for whatever reason. I mean, we are seeing that so often, but this project looks pretty promising. What makes me also confidential is that the openness that you can find here, you can find all the participants on LinkedIn. So have a look on it. It's Memek or Memek.io. You see it in the here in the screen, Memek.io. This is the first project. And the second project is Fight Out, which is also a crypto project. They also wanna enter Decentraland. This should be a fitness community. They are creating a fitness app, and they are creating fitness or gyms spread all over the country in the US. First in the US, and then they wanna go into the world. So here you can also, you have 4 days left. Today we have the 19th, Thursday 19th of January. You have 4 days left to participate on this one, and also pretty promising. You can also look up all the team here. So I had a look on the white papers. They'll also, here is the team. You can find them, all of them, also on LinkedIn, and yeah, that's pretty amazing. Next thing is Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is launching its Shibarium Layer 2. So Shiba Inu was a meme coin, or is a meme coin, and now they are transitioning a little bit into a utility, because now they're launching Shibarium 2, which means that apps can be launched on Shiba Inu. Or projects or other projects can be launched, and they are on top of Shiba Inu. They can be launched on top of the platform. That is pretty promising. That is pretty nice, because now Shiba Inu becomes a utility. And if you didn't know that, roughly 50% of the whole supply of Shiba Inu, of the coins that have been released, all 50% were donated to the Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin, and he burned them. He just said, I don't want to have this responsibility, I burn them. That means they never can be recovered again. So the supply of Shiba Inu coin, of the Shiba Inu coin, was reduced drastically, and because the founders of Shiba Inu said, we don't want to have the responsibility that 50% of the coins are in our hands, because we want the responsibility. We want someone who we can trust, and we trust the Ethereum founder. And Vitalik Buterin, he also donated, I think it was $1 billion to India. So I think it's a very promising thing that's going on here with Shiba Inu, and we may see here many things coming up. Shiba Inu, the price was just skyrocketing during the last days. I show you the chart here. This is the chart. So all the other cryptos as well, we have seen a huge hike in the prices, but in Shiba Inu it was very solid. Whereas, for example, on Bitcoin during the last days, it was pretty stabilizing again. And as you can see, here are the predictions that we made in the past, and they are pretty aligned on how we expect the market to behave. Let's move to pie investing. What's pie investing? Invest yourself to freedom with a pie. You can find our playlist on YouTube. So just search for Katching Secrets, Invest Yourself to Freedom with a Pie, and you will find it on YouTube in our YouTube channel. There is a playlist called Invest Yourself to Freedom with a Pie. These are 5 lessons plus 1 bonus lesson where you will learn what is a pie, how can you invest in a pie. It's a very simple, very easy method to invest your money in stocks, mainly in stocks and ETFs, and you just need 15 minutes max per week to manage your investments. And we are looking at our pie. So here we go. Here it is. This is our pie. Our current investment still down 8%. And today is the time where we, on the one hand, we're investing. On the other hand, we are adding another instrument. So we are going here to edit pie, add a slice, and today's instrument is Wire. Encore Wire is a company producing cables and wiring. So we are adding this company. I've done a research on that. Pretty nice numbers. Now the total investment is higher than 100%. It's 110%. Therefore, we're reducing some other investments. For example, I would like to reduce natural gas because this is falling. We have Encore Wire. Let's bring that back to 8%. Or let's say even lower, 7%. And then we have to get rid of 4 more percent. Let's Graham Holdings. Let's get that down to 5. And Bio-Rad 7. So I'm adjusting this and I'm going to save that. Now we're investing into our pie. Before we are doing this, I have to open up my spreadsheet. So we always have a spreadsheet that is helping us in getting an overview of our investments, so that we can invest the right way. I'm opening up my spreadsheet for you. Oops, let's see. Doesn't let me open it. Open it. And now let's get the screen. Sorry for this. It's taking a little bit of time. Yeah, here we go. I will share my whole screen here. Here you go. And here is our spreadsheet. This is containing all the investments. So currently today is the 19th of January 2023. Oh, here we have 2022. That's wrong. Now, the current balance of our pie. Let's watch this. Here is the current balance of our pie, which is 1788.51. 1788.51. That means we are in profit compared to the last time. That means we are taking the lower amount here. Again, if you don't know why, then look it up on our YouTube channel. So that's 56.25. 56.25. Now we're going to invest in our pie. We're 56.25. It's important here to put in a point. We have free cash 0.01. That's something we have to add. Then we're going here on self-balancing. That means today we are just investing into Encore Wire. Confirm the buy. Will be invested if the exchange is opening again, because currently the exchange is closed. So we're waiting for the investment to show up. What is our extra amount paid into the account? 0. Then the cash reserve is 2994.15. 2994.15. Other shares value, we don't have any shares in the system. And as you can see, current balance 4838.72. That's it, basically. So this is how you are adding, instruments, how you're investing into the pie. You see, if you have some exercise, if you have some routine into the whole thing, you're doing this in less than 15 minutes per week, and you just invest. We invest now every 2 weeks. So every other weeks, I'm researching companies that are potentially to invest into, to take into our pie. So basically, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. It was a long session today, a lot of things to cover. If you have any questions, if I can support you, if you want to learn how to invest the proper way, if you want to set up your 5 pillars of a successful investor, let us know in the comments. Get in contact with us. We will be happy to help you out, to support you, and to give you some insights. If you have interesting topics for us that you are interested in, let us know as well. So see you next week. Happy profits and catching. Bye bye.